What's going on, everybody? My name is Alan Tercios. I am originally from Miami, Florida. From Miami, I moved to Fort Myers and I went to school there, got my finance degree in 2018 and stayed there for the next about 6 years. Fort Myers is a cool city, developed a lot of lifelong friendships, brotherhood, and I couldn't be more thankful and grateful for everybody I've met and the experience that I've had there. I decided to move to Tampa back in 2022 because I felt like Fort Myers wasn't growing as much as I wanted to grow. So I decided to make the change, I decided to make the move, and I've been here ever since. It's been definitely a change of pace compared to Fort Myers, and honestly, I've met so many connections here in the past couple of years that it's definitely changed my life and definitely changed the way that I conduct my video business and how I'm able to structure packages and making sure that we help our clients accomplish their goals and stand out from their competition as much as possible. And we do that with the storytelling formula. So the Storyteller brand, what is the Storyteller brand? Here at Storyteller Media Team, we help established businesses stand out from their competition using creative storytelling through organic content and ads. And there's so many ways that we go about it. The most important thing that we do is take care of our pre-production process. And our pre-production process includes creating a mood board, creating a storyboard, creative ideation, and collaborating with our clients to make sure the vision is aligned. So when it comes time to shoot and film, the film day is working like clockwork. We're there usually for about 3 to 4 hours each day, and it's supposed to be as smooth and as easy for you as possible. Before we ever get into film day, we want to make sure you're prepared as possible to where when it's time to be in front of the camera, you're not hesitating or you're not overthinking it, and you're just comfortable in your delivery and you're comfortable with what you're saying. I started out doing video when I lived in Fort Myers, and how I fell into it was I started to do podcasting with a friend of mine. I used to really love watching the Joe Rogan podcast, so I reached out to my friend who also listens to the Joe Rogan podcast, and I said, hey, maybe we should start one of our own. And it started with audio only. We bought the equipment, we hung it up in my living room table, and we just started bringing friends and people to talk about life and their successes in their business and in entrepreneurship. And that turned into us meeting another friend of ours who had a studio space, and he gave us a studio space, and he said that he would edit the audio for us. He had the microphone setups, the chairs, the space. It looked super legit when somebody came in there and recorded the podcast. And in return, he would edit the audio for us, and in return, he'd get leads for renting out the studio space. So it was a win-win for everybody. And the fact that we had the studio space convinced me to buy a Canon T3i to set it up to record video and just document what we're doing with the podcast. Instead of having it audio only, why not just take it to video? And I didn't know what I was doing. I just hit record. I remember the first couple of videos, it looked like a cold type of color and it was really grainy. I just didn't know what I was doing. I just hit record, but I feel like video is gonna be a lot more impacting than just putting out a bunch of audio clips that we were doing. And come to find out, it turned out like it ended up being a lot more engaging, with our platform. And we had a lot of people hitting us up to be on the podcast because they wanted that experience of, showing the passion of what they do and explaining their business and marketing themselves. So we were able to help out a handful of people before I moved out of Fort Myers, and making sure that their message was heard. From there, I had a friend of mine who contacted me who needed help filming basketball games for a client he had in Fort Myers. He would create highlight tapes for high school basketball players to help them get into college. He had a high school basketball client in Fort Myers, and he knew that I had a digital camera, so I was like, hey, I'll take the job and I'll film. Mind you, again, I didn't know what I was doing, so he came one day he drove down from Gainesville to Fort Myers, and he trained me on how to use the camera And I just started going from there, just filming, and I just deliver the footage to him. Now, what really convinced me to start getting into video production and offering this as a main offer for my clients is the editing and what the post-production was from the footage that I gave him. And that only motivated me more to, when I was doing the podcast, I was thinking outside the box on how I could creatively make a engaging reel. That right there sparked so much creative influence and ideas. And from there, the rest was history. I started to build a video production company, upgraded my camera, upgraded my equipment, started doing brand story videos, packages for social media content, and now we are running ads as well, because the biggest thing for businesses is they want to get more leads, right? And organic content is not, it's hard to measure getting business off organic content, but it's really easy to measure getting business off of ads. So when you combine both of them, it gives you a competitive advantage compared to everybody else in your industry. A lot of businesses, for example, real estate and life insurance, a lot of them do the same type of video content. Great things about this policy, or this is how you can buy a house, or this is how you can sell a property, and it's all the same boring type of guru content that honestly is getting played out. And our job as Storyteller Media Team is to help you stand out in a creative way as much as possible, to where nobody in your industry is doing that. And the best way that we have helped businesses do that is by storytelling and using your story to your advantage that nobody else can mimic off of. Nobody can compete with your story because you're the one that went through and you're the one that had that experience. Our job is to get as much personal information out of you and find a way to connect that into your business, so then when it comes to making content, it all makes sense to what your brand is and what we're trying to sell. Our team consists of social media managers, videographers, editors, and project managers. So we're fully equipped. We have a system in place to help you achieve your business goals and to make sure that we make it fun for you as well. If we're not making you feel comfortable in front of the camera when it's time to film, or you're not having fun with this process, we didn't do a good job. So we take a lot of pride and a lot of passion into preparing you to be the best possible person and your most authentic self when it comes time to film and to start creating content and to start coming up with ideas. This is a fun but impactful process that we give to our clients, and we're super proud over the years of the lives that we've impacted and changed with our video strategy and how we go about doing business with everybody, and help millions of other people and businesses not only to get leads, but to leave a very positive impact to your community and to the world.